Welcome to the What Caregivers Need to Know video show by eCareDiary.com. My name is Susan Byde. I'm the co-founder, and I'm very pleased to talk to you today about diabetes and the American Diabetes Association. I'm very pleased to introduce to you Terri Seidman, who will be talking to us about diabetes and the organization and what types of advocacy programs are available to those who are suffering from this terrible disease. Terri, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Susan.
So Terri is the Associate Director of the American Diabetes Association of Western Pennsylvania, and she handles programming events, Diabetes Camp for Children, and the Big Diabetes Expo here in Pittsburgh, which is going to be held on November 8th. You can find out more about diabetes and the expo on www.diabetes.org. Terri, let's talk about diabetes statistics in the United States. I've heard some of the information from you, and I'd love for you to share that with the audience because it's pretty astounding.
It is. In July of this year, the CDC released new statistics. And what used to be 79 million people who are pre-diabetes are now 86 million people with pre-diabetes. 1 in 3 people who were born in the year 2000, by the year 2050, will have diabetes. And in this country, we have, the number has changed again from 26 million people to 29 million people who have diabetes, and still a third of them, about 9.3 million people, have not been diagnosed. So we have people walking around with a silent hidden killer of type 2 diabetes that is life-threatening. So those are pretty staggering statistics that are going on right now.
It's incredible that the numbers continue to rise.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us a little bit about the American Diabetes Association and the type of resources that are available to those afflicted with diabetes or who might be pre-diabetic.
Okay. Many people are not aware that the American Diabetes Association is the organization that sets the standards of care for the medical world in taking care of and managing people who are living with diabetes. And that is a huge phenomenon in terms of the medical component and the scientific division that are part of the American Diabetes Association. There are many recognized ADA, American Diabetes Association, educational programs that are connected to the hospitals throughout this entire country, not just in Pittsburgh, but everywhere in the country, that has these programs that when people are either newly diagnosed or want to brush up and put themselves through learning again about how to manage their diabetes, these programs are available. And oftentimes the hospitals do have diabetes centers located in them, and these programs are held through those centers. So that's a really important part of finding out that you're newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is different. Type 2 diabetes, and being educated. There's a program called Living with Type 2 Diabetes Initiative that is for people with newly diagnosed diabetes, and you can find all this information, like Lisa said, online at www.diabetes.org in terms of getting this information and where this information is and keeping you in the loop about managing your diabetes. If you go to the website, which has a plethora of information, and I suggest doing it at a half an hour at a time because sometimes it can be very overwhelming, there is a whole section devoted to food and fitness. So there is my recipes, there's my food health advisor of how to keep the tastes that you like, but making them the meals healthier. And all of that information is on the website. We also have a call center, 1-800-DIABETES, where if you are in need of information, they will help you and put together packets of information and send it out to you as well. So those are incredible resources that the ADA provides.
And in just having met you over the summer, I have learned so much about diabetes myself, and you've given me so much information. So I can vouch for that there is just a plethora of information available on that website. Terri, now tell us about the expo in Pittsburgh.
The expo in Pittsburgh will be on Saturday, November 8th at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. And really, the target audience are all of you. It's for people living with diabetes who have been already diagnosed, people who are pre-diabetes, and as we mentioned the stats before, it's almost everybody, and people who are just interested in living healthier lifestyles. So it's a free event. There are cooking demos. There's a move and groove floor with activity going on the entire day, workshops, screenings, a youth and family fun zone, a skating rink, a tennis court, as well as our diabetic stage, which is really diabetes infotainment. Diabetes education being delivered not in white coats, not clinical, but all the information there. And this year's theme is the Diabetes Time Machine. So walk through with us back into the days of Cleopatra and moving forward with all the discoveries of technology and how we eat and how we move and all that type of thing.
Wonderful. Thank you, Terri, for joining us today and to share information about the ADA. And again, if you are interested in information about diabetes, visit diabetes.org. Thank you, Terri.
Thanks, Susan.